Hey, it's Brian Chris here from Resolve Technology, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I just had to throw on a sweatshirt. It's getting a little cold here in New Hampshire. And Chris has got an update for us on Teams. We just got into a little bit of a login issue with Teams. It looks like they made some recent updates. Something that used to be free might not be free anymore. Chris, maybe you can elaborate a little bit?
So we have a client, they're not using like Teams meeting rooms or Teams Room Pro. They wanted a basic account to sign into a conference room. They got a Yalink MP56 phone. They all sign in. The thing is, the conference room account is for so that somebody can be called. The auto attendant can be forwarded there. So they got that extra phone. In the past, we showed them the Teams Room Basic, which is a free license, and then the Teams Meeting Room Pro, which is a $40 a month license. But they said they had it set up with this Teams Room Basic, and we just added the Teams phone with calling plan so they could call outside of the office. That alone was enough to sign into the phone, use it for calls, all that fun stuff. That suddenly stopped working. I don't know. So he said it's been signed out for 6 months, our client, because they don't use it all the time. But he kept getting an error message, a weird one, and it signed him out. So I go to the Teams admin center, but the first thing I had him do is sign in with that account, reset the password, sign in from his phone. Same message. So I know it wasn't the phone. It was something account based, but when he signed in on his phone, it said licensing. We had a spare business premium license, and that solved the issue. But there's a few things to consider when you run into issues in here. Is sometimes you might have a license, but something under apps is unchecked, like Microsoft Teams. So he couldn't sign into the Teams app on his phone because without business premium, the Teams wasn't in here. We've seen this with other clients before, Brian, haven't we? Where like, hey, I can't log into Teams, and they have business standard, and for one reason or another, Teams was unchecked under the apps and under the users apps in the admin center.
Yeah.
But if we
And I
come
think
here,
Teams comes with the standard license, right? Some of those boxes might be unchecked. So basically those apps won't work if the box is unchecked, right?
Microsoft Teams is included with that room's basic. So this was our workaround because they had a big meeting in the conference room. We had the available license. But then I went to the Teams admin center. And if you come under team devices and phones, I saw one display name signed out. And there's that account conference room. And there was a non-urgent health status. Newer versions of Teams is available. Non-urgent issue, it says. But I didn't see any other issues. But if I wanted to, it's all devices. I could click update. Right now, I have it set to automatically update. Every Sunday at 10, it checks. But you can do a manual one using your specified maintenance window or schedule a date and time. So this is what I did is I came in here and selected today, 11:30, whatever time it was. And then I made sure, because it was all four, I did firmware, Teams agent, company portal, OEM, and the Teams app on the phone itself. Because it's still technically an Android device, a lot of these phones, right? And they are using the Teams app. And then once I queued that up, I could see that the device, he said he saw updating on the screen. You can also download device logs, update the software on one phone, and restart the phone remotely, just like with any Intune joined device. But you do that from the Teams admin center here. But I can see things updated on it. It didn't update the Teams app itself, but everything else updated when I ran that update.
Okay, that's really useful. And then you also were showing me a section where you could see that one of the conference calls went through. There's some other
Yes.
log
Activity.
area.
Let's see. Yeah, the sign-in failures could be history. You can see I did device restart, software updates, but also you can sign in, right? I haven't seen this work yet. I guess it takes several minutes, but you can sign a user into the phone right from the portal here with the account as the most recently signed in user. This might have been here and I just never stumbled upon it. But yeah, there is, let me go back to phones here. Yeah, see, I can see the IP address is on the network, and I checked in our Unify controller, which is our switch and access point, and I could see the device was online, connected. It was definitely an interesting one. But if I click on this sign out one, I think you were saying, oh, now it's saying sign in to. But yeah, up here we saw one outbound call. So I know he used it today. It was a date and time this afternoon.
That is a good one because normally we're not in this. Normally things just work, right?
Yeah.
We've already got the updates set to go off on Sunday and whatnot. So yeah, it is interesting to see all the different things that you can do to control the phone.
Yeah. So the only thing we've heard from this customer is it just works. They like it 100 times better than what they have with Comcast. We're able to manage it with their with their existing Microsoft software they use. But I guess I think this is specific to the phones, though. This is not necessarily a team issue. But with the Yalink MP56 phones, he noticed that if people call from their cars, Bluetooth in their cars, they're signed into Teams there. These phones, what's real lower, they can't hear them talk. So that to me sounds more like that could be Bluetooth. He gave me the model of the vehicle. One was a BMW, one was an Audi, one was a Tesla, whatever. But all of them, when they they couldn't hear the people calling from the car. I think that's more of a phone manufacturer firmware issue or an issue with the Bluetooth receiver in the vehicle, how the phone handles. Maybe you have to go in there and set up, just like Teams on the desktop here. If I come here, right, I can go to my settings. Maybe I haven't used Teams in a car, so don't hold me to it. But maybe you have to come in here and change your microphone, because I'm assuming if they're doing Bluetooth calls with Teams in a car, they're not either they need to go into the phone app or they need to go into Android Auto, which is most likely the type of smart device in the vehicle making the outbound calls.
Yeah, I doubt it's the Yalink that's
Me too.
problem.
Even that, I think it's a Bluetooth configuration issue on the phone where it's not the right speaker set.
Right. Or they need to pump up the volume on something, either the phone or the car or whatever. Oh, that's a great video. Thanks a lot for showing us that, Chris.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.